Okay, sorry. There's a lot of Velocity versus Global Esports series, and I think the last one was when they were actually losing for a bit because Global Esports had a run, and then they
Yeah.
suddenly started just winning 5 in a row to finish off the job. It was pretty intense. That's why it's an El Clasico, honestly, of the South Asian scene. Velocity Gaming, Global Esports, the two kings that trade crowns, but lately it has been all Velocity Gaming, and especially right now what they're showing in the group stage, their performance against Oblivion Force, it was great and all. It proved that South Asia was there to contend with SEA. But it's a completely different game against a renowned squad like Full Sense. And many would say, yeah, Full Sense got this. It's their time. But Velocity Gaming, they're saying no immediately. They're proving that South Asia has really done their work all throughout last year. And through VCC, qualify here to VCT. They want to show that their visit is not just a slight happenstance. Instead, it will be an absolute stay and show. Of course, Matarasu though already with the push, and here comes right to Ace also with the darts. Deathmaker and Hellf. Well executed here by Velocity. All they need is the null command. And apparently, the defense of Full Sense is null and void.
Wow, there's so much at the back of the C site from Full Sense, but somehow Velocity only lost a Matarasu, quote unquote, but since he does have that null command, he's just gonna, in the immortal worlds of Taylor Swift, shake it off. The only one to remain now. He does
Loss because these guys have been streaking. They have so much money to work with. And I'm Might be juggling this gun. Throw it away if need be. For velocity, at least they get rid of the biggest problem here so far on the other side.
Yeah. Well, Frenzy does give you that false sense of protection. You try to use it in that scenario. What is up with these pistols, man? Oh, even better. LF comes out from the underworld and says, I will take your soul. That being said, though, we still are to the 2 versus 2. But considering how multiple players of VLT are making things with the pistols work, it is going so well. How is this happening? How is the shock dart just better than the rest of the full send squadron? The peek out from Lamusex will be good, but the damage from Velocity was staggering and awe-inspiring. They almost had that one, Dax.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's another almost round. Of course, this is an ego state. Not too expected for Velocity to get this round win, sure. But they've already done the damage. They're just a bit away. But players like Lamusex, players like the ASUS that we get here from the side of Full Sense, you know, it's been detrimental, honestly, for Velocity to finish off the job. And the thing is, they're getting a few trades as soon as Full Sense is going on site. But what happens first? John Olsen starts the rampage. Shalalala ends the rounds. Still, the usual suspects here from Full Sense getting the right impact in the way that they're accustomed to. And now we're seeing more of the Full Sense brand in action. Really, that first half looked very lost. Didn't feel as confident from a squad that knows each other well like Full Sense. But here we go. Velocity Gaming setting up the killjoy of Hellef on that A site. If they get this intel, they garner that maybe the nanoswarms will be a bother. I really wouldn't be surprised to see Full Sense rotate. Instead, dangerous territory though towards that C site because it's an op in the hands of Deathmaker right now.
You can still try to go for that if they want to, if they have enough utility, especially with PTC having those double flashes. It might be enough to actually take down Deathmaker. On the retake though, Deathmaker might not want this as much because of the fact that he does not have the blades to actually play for the post plant. Now we do spot out PTC here. Look at how close one of them is. Hell F already on short. They've actually charged right in. They haven't cleared it out just yet because of the shenanigans that the Hunter's Fury almost gives up right to Ace. Actually gets walled up right in front of his face, but he still doesn't survive the fight. John Olsen now holding across the wall here. 2 versus 4 as the round continues. But Vibhor and Deathmaker, they've already made the call. Vamush on out of there. It's too much. It's too hassle. And our weapons will be the only ones that we can use in the next round. They'll be broke.
Yeah, we're getting that timing again here from Full Sense. And you mentioned it, Chalalala, that Cosmic Divide, absolutely perfect to wall on up. A bit of lucky timing, sure, but at the same time, they put that wall so they would have a safer transition to a long. They didn't know if they could flush out the hell angle as effectively as possible. Might as well the big blockade and stop Velocity from even bothering to go for the raid take. They assumed already, why is this jet not showing on up? Probably has the operator. Velocity Gaming, they watch their lead just crumble on over. It's only one round now in between these two teams. The Full Sense recovery is when they get back on their feet and start beating you down. A 5-round streak in Aserai. This was 9-3 a while ago. I don't really believe in those kind of jinxes per se because, you know, these players, the masters of their own fate. But what the hell just happened? The curse, man. Is this really what's going on, or is it more a Full Sense finally waking on up for the series?
I think you can call it a curse, but at the same time, you could also, we can rationalize.
Take it seriously.
We can rationalize about it. I'm not a, what's the word?
Superstitious?
Superstitious man, yes. But it has been spotted that when you swap the sides and it's 9-3, there is always that possibility of comeback. Because again, Valorant is a very easy, not easy, but simple game to actually net multiple rounds in a row compared to the other tactical FPS equivalent, because that one is up to 30 rounds, this one's 24. So the shortened period, again, makes everything very deceiving that you have such a huge lead, but technically if you just do the quick math, it's like 6 rounds differential. And then if you get win pistol, you win the next round after pistol, you win the bonus, that's already 3 rounds, so you're 3 rounds away. And then you reset your opponent's economy, and then it's another 3 rounds. Boom, 9-9, right? So, yeah.
Interesting math right there, good sir. an interesting take about Valorant and other games that may or may not be agreed upon to with the rest of the
Yeah,
crew. The
true
thing
enough.
is, if you want to agree on something, you have to agree that the timing of Full Sense has been perfect with some of these peaks, some of these ultimates, and overall for Velocity, even a half a second too late, half a second that they're distracted, a squad like Full Sense can capitalize. But this already looks so good though.
Right
I
here.
think just from the run we saw a while ago, South Asian squad proving that they can contend to belong here in the APAC side. And them making it all the way to, well, the upper bracket finals of their group really goes to show how much work they put in this far. Helifto now to the corner as we have a one-round gap between these two teams. Thing is, though, Velocity not the best arsenal. Two Speckers into play, a single Sheriff, but the operator from Deathmaker still around for now. Tito with the finds two, and he's loving the push, loving the entries, and he just gets the takedown so simply anyway. That Velocity Gaming has to respect the presence of the chamber right now. Spike, though, will be planted, and as Velocity scramble to find an angle, it's Full Sense all around surrounding the map.
Amaterasu's lurk might actually be a linchpin here. He could open stuff up. Deathmaker whiffing a very important shot to get that control onto C Long. Now they know that Deathmaker is going to be coming all the way around there, but that might not be enough time as his two teammates will be corralling all their garage to pick up the better weapons here. Oh, they still do have the numbers. They've taken them down, and yeah, exactly that. There's no chance that they could have gotten that pinch, and Deathmaker, all he can really do is once again save the operator. But we got ourselves a nice little discounted sale here, 11-11, as Full Sense bring it all the way back.
Yeah, if you made a wish for that Full Sense comeback, high time now to collect on that reward. And Velocity, not really liking too much the Deathmaker operator. We know he can be precise on it, but he's just lacking that kind of presence we've seen all throughout the map right now. Full Sense on the flip side, they just allowed T to go rampant, and they went straight to C anyway. What else can Velocity Gaming do right now? Because Full Sense have gotten back on track with their plays, with their timings, and with the speed of their executions. I think you still have to look after what someone like Helef can do here. He's top ranking right now, but the Killjoy setup itself can be ignored by players like John Olsen who are that confident even on the attacking side. Guiding Light to throw. Full Sense now playing it a bit slower because they want to at least gauge where the operator is for the team of Velocity.
John Olsen now has his own op because of those blades. It'll make it very easy for him to at least do everything. Fight a long range, fight a close range, fight at any range. That's John Olsen for you. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They're going to be looking to at least figure out where Deathmaker is first. But this is a bit too passive, I would say, for the rest of Full Sense. They probably want to save all of their utility to go for that one full swing. I wonder if this is going to be something. If they dry peek this, this could be bad. Deathmaker does not throw the pop shot through there. The smoke actually gives him still this leeway to push through. And right to Ace will be able to get down John Olsen, but John Olsen ignites the fight with that one trade-off. But the rest of his team is starting to march off onto Ace side as Amaterasu jumps up. The was ready and prepared, and The once again, he does it, takes some damage, but still opens up the site for his team.
Yeah, the newer addition to the Full Sense roster heating on up again. Two more there for T to open up that A site, and you mentioned it. Jump for Joy and jump for T because that's the last shot you will be able to take there, good sir. Spike's now planted. If we ignited an Ember towards C site, the flame is just encompassing A instead. And as of yet, Full Sense now are just hunting down the members of Velocity here. They want to cripple the economy of Velocity. The tides have turned, and on the attacking side, Full Sense has fully woken on up. But right, the Ace now goes for the 3K. The push now comes to shove as he will go for that A side. Over the long though. Still is the chamber for a bit of the action. PTC now coming in for flat. Quad kill ready for right to Ace. And can he get the clutch for the squad? No, he can't. The time is not even on his side. And PTC with the one that counts there at the end. Map point now. But it's for Full Sense who has taken full control of this game. 7 rounds in a row here, Asarai.
Yeah, everybody's so crazy for them. Oh, that was so crisp. V. God, I love how this guy shoots. Just so satisfying to watch. Yeah, right to Ace though, also very satisfying to watch on that clutch. Unfortunately, did not have enough time to fight the last player, which was PTC, but it was very, very close. Now, the Let's Play, well, there's no Pikachu here, but it is going to be an electrifying match as overtime is on the horizon.
Thing is though, there's the operator right now for John Olsen. We heard the tour de force, so twin up set up a possibility right now for Full Sense. If anyone from Velocity Gaming overcommits and is too overeager to push all the way to the spawn side, we do have Full Sense though now stacking towards the garage yet again. Window being controlled here by HellF. He just goes straight into the middle as the Nebula will actually be a blockade there. Quick little gun swap though now. PTC with the operator also has that renowned playing jet before. Third though being bought or sprayed on now from HellF doesn't lead to much. It does seem like Velocity though trying to slow down Full Sense as much as possible. There's still so much time to work with. Full Sense can go for the rotation. And as noise is made towards that A site, they might consider just forcing and brute forcing rather their way into this one, Asarai.
They still have flashes too. Deathmaker's position is already exposed, but not Vibhor. He can set up the crossfire here. He does do one, but he only has the Spectre, unfortunately, and the damage on that is not as painful as you would think it to. The double cross coming in from the defenders. They're hearing the rotation right now. Maybe they can cut this off, but Lamisnak's timing is going to be key. Oh, perfect indeed.
10 seconds left.
They are delaying though. Great flashes coming in here from Amaterasu, but he does not spot out B, who was already coming in the back of the side. Right to Ace, back again on the pedestal, on the podium here. Dax 2 versus 1 as he tries to push for overtime.
Yeah, stays the back of the site though. PTC right there, right 10. Lamisnax from the garage, right to Ace now. Taking the platform, wants the high ground, able to crouch on down and get that takedown. Nice shot to the head of PTC. Throws the dart, sees that it's broken. And on the other side, it will be Lamisnax responding in kind. Shock bolts though do fly, gets the tag, 57 HP already. Lamisnax no more utilities, and he's just sticking it. He's not letting go. And Velocity Gaming, they steal that one away. It's a right to clutch moment because that was rightly played by right to Ace. But Lamisnax, what are you doing? A lapse of judgment for Full Sense. What is going on with today? Why are overtimes happening? And why are these defuses just getting all the way anyway from the teams? What's going on?
A gift.
I don't know. That's a very esports clutch moment. Oh my, yeah. What is absolutely going on?
That's right.
Enemy remaining.
We haven't cast a game yet today that hasn't gone overtime.
And does it have any ninja diffuses?
Oh my god.
To be fair, at least on the case of right to Ace here, he didn't really have to fear his opponent that much, because he did see the shock dart come out from Lamisnax from a slower angle from the looks of it, so he was probably feeling out that Lamisnax was pretty far off, and since the spike was planted way on default, tucked him in the corner, he should have at least a thick enough wall that allows him to defuse with like a fraction of a second for Lamisnax to punish.
Yeah, you're not wrong, because safely right says could get to halfway, but he stuck it when he realized no one was running at him, right? And you mentioned it, the distance there from Lamisnax, it will take quite a walk to make it for that kind of vision. So it's a rare lapse of judgment here from the side of Full Sense. And Lamisnax, he has been pretty consistent at those kind of moments here for the squad. But today of all days, not gonna happen, but they want to make it already into the playoffs basically next week. But then again, overtime is where we're at always, Asarai. It just never ends, doesn't it, this day for today? In Full Sense now, it's a heavy stack here towards that seaside. 3 players, cha-la-la-la. Not these smoke criminals, surprising for hypes. In the nebulas as the stars are shining. But the thing is, Velocity Gaming, they're moving towards that A side instead, where Lamisnax is waiting. Deathmaker now low on HP. Cloudburst is there though for the dash on in. And Lamisnax still playing that patient game. Now the dark cover is there to distract and to block out the vision of the Silver from the tower. Retake now is a go. It's still a 5v5 though for Velocity Gaming. At the very least, they got that spike plant and now they can play around the objective.
I was wondering why Lamisnax wanted to use that recon dart too early, but he does have his drone to use, though the timing on Amaterasu with the blade is going to delay them even further. They can't wait any longer. They have to start pushing in. And look at this. Lammy Snacks, John Olsen, and teammate are starting to rile right in. Oh my goodness, I have to sneeze, but they are still doing so well. Hell F coming in from the side though, but they already hear his footsteps. Even though he can maybe take these two players off, the diffuser is coming in, and I gotta beat myself for that.
now you can sneeze, and now you can see the power of full sense. They just run it back anyway. They let the retake be the victory condition. From that point on, it's full sense now on map point. What has gone wrong here for Velocity? Does seem like it's more full sense, honestly, waking on up. And as soon as they come on in, these chain of kills almost simultaneous from the side of full sense. That's how quick they can go for the takedowns. And the problem is, Velocity, they need to stop at least one of those angles as much as possible. It gives them a staging ground to contend with. But if full sense wins those duels, it's all across the site. You will find that pressure. You will feel it. And John Olsen is feeling it now. 28 takedowns on the Jet. But big props really to see some double kills here to open up these sites, to give full sense a chance there, especially on the attacking side. And we're in that overtime, thanks to the newest addition here to the full sense roster. And also PTC, that's an interesting scoreline. Usually you get that when he's on a breach. Now the Sky is still getting that value. Seems like not having that hot hand, it's all fine, it's all good, because these blinds, these flashes, still utilized by full sense to the best degree.
Yeah, absolutely. That last round, John Olsen, I just really think that his Cloudburst dash, even though ballsy and hella risk, was enough that it made, I think, Velocity players on the near corners on Graffiti second guess if they should deal with that first or something else. That being said, oh, Deathmaker, I thought he was going to get away with bloody murder, but the quick swaps, the quick trades, at least make it into a 4 versus 4 endeavor. The question now lies, do they know that PDC and Z are already here on the swing? The timing is going to be crucial. Oh my goodness, this is bad. They've already flashed from the back of the site, and I don't know if before can actually get back into this, and Z actually already at spawn. The audacity of these players, man, just to keep the ball rolling. The pressure is on in full sense when you need them to go above and beyond to full send it to game number 2.
Not just above. that they wanted to bank on here in APAC challenges, because they started off with the Omen and the Breach, didn't really pan on that. They felt like Chalalala was a lot sneakier with the Ash Smokes, and we've seen him accomplish many things with the Agent. And the same case for PTC, wherein it's like, okay, we might not need really this Breach kind of setup. We don't need to play from afar, harder contact in closer quarters, and let PTC pop off by himself. So it's that more of the ideology change that I mentioned at the start of the series that caused this shift for Full Sense in terms of the composition. For Velocity though, beyond them embracing really the Omen now more so than the Astra, it's still the same kind of game they want to play here with that double duelist. So the Jet and the Rays, expect them to just make fireworks happen. Problem is though, it will be a big testing ground here for Vipor, for the side of Velocity overall. If they can keep that parity between their duelists, can they support it as much as possible as we're getting into the game?
And I love how you mentioned that it doesn't really change the fact for Velocity if they were either Astra or Omen, but it did change the initiator that they have to bring to the table, which is Amaterasu on that Breach. Because again, if you had the Astra, you'd have those concusses that the Astra brings because of the gravity well, as well as the actual concuss that she has. But since they are bringing PTC, who only really does have the flash, and you can't really call the Trailblazer like a really strong CC, it really has forced VLT to bring in the Breach here. That being said, it's not really a bad option, because once you do have those Rolling Thunders up to play, it's a really strong ability that can be used to overwhelm each and every site, similar to what you would use on Fracture.
Yeah, and the thing is, Velocity shift over the ideology. They go from Astra Viper to that Omen Breach. And Amaterasu again proving how flexible it can be pretty much on the Agents, right to Ace also. I believe he plays the Initiator when they do play something like Sky here. Not this time, as well, the hoodie is on for right to Ace. Thing is though, Velocity showing that they've done their homework also. They might need the extra bit of crowd control, courtesy of the Breach, courtesy of the Rays, to stop any kind of mid-contest that Full Sense wants to do here. But a nice peek towards the tower. Right, the Ace though, going on to the inside to get that takedown 4v4 scenario, but that is the spike moving towards B site. Anyway, no, it's actually a wraparound. They're thinking about it. They can clear out some more of these angles. They can go towards A. And John Olsen falls to the hand of Matarasu. The A side, screw it. Okay, we were thinking for B. Might as well stick with it anyway. Spike's planted. In Full Sense now with the man advantage.
They already know that that's two players coming in from heaven. They're making so much noise, and coming in from spawn as well, because that was the last two that John Olsen was able to fight. Materasu trying to set up the fault line here, but nobody actually going to be there to actually hit. The question now lies, how well is the smoke criminal capabilities of Right to Ace only good on the A side? This B, it's a little bit too much, too tough to chew, as it was a 3 versus 1, as his teammate Amaterasu fall right beside him. Look at this, initiates from John Olsen, always ready to go for that engage.
Yeah, this is a very interesting setup here for Velocity right now. I've been listing down the agents, but just to completely summarize things, it's a new look here for Velocity. New faces on different kind of agents. It's a big gamble right now, in all honesty, from what we're seeing here for Velocity. It's maybe though the things they've worked on, especially for the newer patch, is what they have to bring right now against Full Sense. Full Sense though, a lot more concise, a lot more, I'd say, known on what they want to do. And here we go again. Mid control opens up a world of possibilities here for Full Sense. And not only that, they just like using the towers as launch pads basically here as right. Either A or B side. Extra high ground to get the vision on, to get that control. But C finds 2, while Velocity will try to throw all their bodies towards him. But someone needs to help Sewers because the chase is on. Here comes now the last bats to get on through to the alleyway. It does seem like B will be strung along for a ride, and the Matarasu now will get the takedown. So Ghost in hand, Velocity on the hunt. Full Sense though, they're set up on side. Live stacks over, good reaction there. LFF goes down, John Olsen from the fence, and his name is John Olsen, and his aim is absolutely pure. 2-0. It's another win here for Full Sense.
V got so much value off of a weapon that should not have gotten that much value. Look at that. It's a ghost in his hand, and he just also gets chased by them, but they activate the trap so he can get more space on Sewers as his teammates corral all the way through B. Oh my goodness. This really is like V's time to shine. I mean, Lamisax and John Olsen, they're popping shots, but V follows up, man. He follows through.
He's been finding his footing more so here in APAC Challengers, and many questions. Like people asking, where's Superbuzz? Busy pretty much streaming and becoming one of the faces of the Thai community. But at the same time, T has absolutely adjusted within his role for the team. Chalalala, same case. Really bringing out many aspects of the controller here and now. Velocity. They finally have the guns, and they're actually going to be that willing to contest it. Flashes into play. John Olsen pushes on forward, but the ambush here from Vibor and Amaterasu will lead to the takedowns onto the many of Full Senses mid-takers. Now then, Crossfire. Going to be set on up perhaps. Maybe a double peek here towards the Ramen. Bold line into play. Tito with the find on Deadmaker. Vibor now finally gets 3K for him. Lodo on the HP. There you have the stars being quite the bother. But this should be it for the round. Velocity taking the fight to Full Sense, and only Chalalala with a Spectre can put a stop to it.
Double stacked it actually, but well, that tiny little angle gonna be favoring right to Ace just a tiny bit better. And this VLT get themselves the round. I was mentioning this a while ago, Dax. It's always the 2 rounds at the start here on the attacking side on split, which is the most important, because once that happens, even if you have that buy round on attack, it's still not a sure ball thing that you're gonna be able to secure yourself another round victory. All that being said, though, this is gonna be the Full Sense purchase power round. We'll see how that unravels. PTC have yet to really get anything. Maybe this is time to shine with 0 kills. Still is to his name.
Hasn't needed to do anything, basically. It's just like, oh, okay, you guys are already there? Sure. T, you're on the Cypher. You're killing? Okay, sure. Neural Theft's ready, actually. So, Full Sense, if they get 1 kill, they're gonna immediately understand what the positioning of Velocity is coming into the game. But I like this a lot from Velocity. It reminds me of what we've seen from Onyx towards that B tower. But at the same time, Ambition here, and oh, Deadmaker, that was the perfect opportunity! But he couldn't get the job done. And John Olsen will survive for now. And as we get Velocity rotating all around, the picks happen courtesy of Full Sense. Right to Ace and HellFF. They both fall. The lurk again from the such a big bother. This forces now Deadmaker to watch from the ramps, but this is looking more even precarious here for Velocity, because now the ropes are clearer and they can go for the push. John Olsen also able to avoid Vibor. What is going on here? John Olsen is just ignored in the vents right now.
And even though Vibor is about to hit a really strong flank from the back, if the timing for Full Sense is just a tad bit faster, he might be able to... Well,
30 seconds
he might be able to get them inside without Vibor getting any kills whatsoever, because there's a tripwire right in his face. There it is. The kill might have actually allowed them to push in. And he's rampaging through the ramps here. About to go for the swing. Gets spotted, but there's too many players, too many members of Full Sense to deal with. Just little bits of off timing here for Velocity. They got the kill onto V, which allowed Vibor to sneak one in. But because all of his teammates fell around him, he couldn't really do much, but maybe just get that one frag, and that one frag alone.
Yeah, if we go back to it, Deadmaker, if he just got that kill on John Olsen, there wouldn't be that much pressure applied onto Velocity, and they could have stayed into more of their usual lanes here. I'm liking when I see the Breach and the Raze together towards B Tower. If we get that fast execute from Full Sense towards B site, those were the perfect agents to try and put a stop to it with the fault line and the pain shells. Perhaps a flash in the peak there to also go for the kills. But we get back now into the round, and it's an interesting buy here for the side of Velocity. Amaterasu has a hero rifle. There's a Spectre into play as well. For the rest of Velocity now on the save state. John also with a takedown right to us, and Amaterasu though do get the trades back. Chalalala giving the advantage back here to Full Sense, but the spike is still in the middle. So the contest now is the only way. Amaterasu though with the takedown onto T. Hop on away, good PTC. B site is awaiting your presence. The thing is now, they'll be a little bit bigger. A lot more set on up. It's 2v1 as the Seekers will even search for the last player.
But the timing on the Seekers might be a bit delayed. You can't see already, Chaw's not even expecting this. Oh my gosh, did the Seekers actually took some of the bullets? The timing, man. 2 straight rounds in a row where timing was so key. That was fantastic to have seen.
a second lapse of time, basically, against Full Sense. And it is the perfect opening to begin with. Maybe it did, because
it absolutely did.
it just jiggles around like that. It's like, hello, I'm a big shield now, and what a timing from Full Sense. Get a stopwatch, because these guys are the ones breaking the records, setting those kind of times. And here we go, high time for the showstopper play. They want to clear T out as much as possible. They still can't find the answer, and it's too little too late before. Even if you try, T will be able to get away scot-free. So that's the showstopper gone. But at least right now, the trip bars also removed by Velocity from this equation. So a bit of a reset right now. T, will he go back towards that A site? That's the question, because before he wants to hold it close, he just wants to prevent also that Cypher from being a big pain in their necks if ever anyone peeks things out there.
Well, this might be the correct decision to go for. I don't think Deathmaker has actually spotted that he's shown that he bought the operator. They probably still should know that it is there. Vibhor now knows that the push is coming through. Throws out the nade just in a nick of time, and maybe, no, I think he second-guessed himself. He was trying to control his spray, but nothing came after that one, Dax. Unfortunately, time still is in the favor of Full Sense here. They have so much to work with. And as there are waves being dealt with on A main, there's about a 3-man paparazzi that's about to explode with lights ablazing on the A heaven side here.
The dash though, and right to Ace. That's a beautiful pick off onto John Olsen, anticipating the aggression courtesy of the Jet. But Chalalala with a find onto Amaterasu. Here comes Full Sense now, right on site. 13 seconds left though. The Velocity throw anything at them to stop this plant, no. But right to Ace, or at least take the opportunity to get that takedown. And Deathmaker, just quick little shot there onto PTC to make it even easier here for Velocity. Cosmic Divide though is the play, separating the plane of existence into two. HLF though, all the way into the corner. If HLF can actually get this clutch here for Velocity, just duly noted and duly needed. Lammy Snacks though in behind the wall still with the separations, no noise on the other side. The time now is ticking. Velocity needs to hook it, but into the corner. Lammy Snacks is right there. Sadly, that's not the right peak there for HLF. And 5-1 right now, Full Sense. They're on the attacking side of split, but they got the hot start that they need. And they're seeing it right now, that there is just no bits of hesitation. You mentioned it. A little unfortunate because the raise was already at the right time. Threw the peak shells to prevent that second peak from happening in the first place. But just looking at PTC right in front of him, right? Didn't really pan out the way that he would like. And once Full Sense gets on site, Velocity just absolutely struggle to take it back from them, because instead of just staying in their lanes, staying in position, there's that ambition to push. There's that willingness to set things up for even further intel, deeper into enemy territory. And Velocity right now, on paper, they have a great composition to actually run against Full Sense. But again, this is my problem. Great players overall, but on different roles right now for some of them. A big adjustment and a big leap coming into Split for this new patch.
Dude, I am just like that wall from Cha had more value than I think I was even anticipating, because obviously it was supposed to help them out with the planting on the spike. It's much more freer, and even though it seems like Velocity had the numbers, it suppressed them well enough. It also gave the winning angle for Lammy Snacks, because there was so many things that the wall concealed against HLF that he had to check so many angles as well. Oh, that Eye of Sauron right there spots out Deathmaker, unfortunately. And his blades will be given away already. You can see the rotation from Full Sense. They're like, no, we don't want to touch this hot potato. We know that you're going to be on the weaker buy, and we're just going to be forcing ourselves up on the B site where we still have all of our utilities. The question now lies the Killjoy HLF. Let's get back into the corner. Will not get dissipated, and he does have a nice little crossfire here alongside right to Ace, while their teammate is holding the top side on Heaven.
Yeah, turret, no, now the pressure is there, and John Olsen right beside it, but they didn't break the turret! And HLF actually getting rid of John Olsen thanks to his utility setup, so good turret there, and a good start here for Velocity. An interesting change of pace here from the side of Full Sense. They went for the full send towards that B site.
Oh my God.
Rather than buying for that mid control. But Lammy Snacks, man, the taps are real. And Deathmaker and his ambition already crushed into a can. Showstopper, though, flies. Doesn't make anyone die, though, but everyone's distracted here by the high ground. And Lammy Snacks right now flying on in like superhero. Eventually, his keep is clipped, but Chalalala is there to just trade it out and get that takedown. Velocity, they have to be careful when they're distracted by that higher ground. PTC, he just wanted attention. He got it. From that point on, it was just Lammy Snacks here going for the easier kills, especially because of the gun disparity.
And gun disparity, as well as you mentioned, taking the attention of the rest of the VLT. That's actually interesting that the Amaterasu wanted to double up and try to help out his teammate from the B Heaven when he was incredibly exposed through B main. When they knew already the Lammy Snacks was already heavy committing the ultimate there. So pretty sure he was right about to follow. Nice little one-way smoke here from right to Ace. Will at least dissuade the attention of Full Sense as they work their magic on this 8th round. But I do like this mid control from both duelists of Velocity.
Yeah, here we go again. Velocity, they've taken a different ideology to defending this map. Instead of looking to make those plays with Amaterasu, Crossfire perhaps, the way to go. Problem is, though, Full Sense has understood that this is a squad willing to fight them and where they want to play from. And instead, we get the action here towards B. Right to Ace. With that first takedown onto PTC. With a quick trade from John Olsen, preventing the escape of the Omen. So not much smokes this time for Velocity to work with. Be able to blockade the vision. And you have to keep an eye, perhaps, on what the Killjoy can do to stem the push towards A side, but the spike now should be spotted here. Got John Olsen, though, crawling on through. Deathmaker can't react in time. Nice sneaky plays again here from John Olsen. Splinter Cell and all, but all he needs is one to bring the damage versus Velocity at 3K already for the side of John Olsen and Full Sense. It's a nice tap, though, from Helef as he pushes on forward, but Chalalala always stalwart on the defense. And in a situation like that, he holds on to the corner to get that takedown to board. Now the only one left. Here comes John Olsen now with a big jump peek. Mages though, flushing him out. Can't really peek in time to help out. Chalalala. And now the blast back to get in the way. But John Olsen trying to go for the wraparound. Here we go with the gun out. But John Olsen gets the quad anyway.
No.
And it's Full Sense from B to A. The marathon man that is John Olsen has taken pictures with all the landmarks. And also have gotten the corpses around him to get those takedowns.
Vibhor already had the right guess as where John Olsen was peeking out because he threw out that satchel of his. If people have forgotten, satchel actually does less damage at the start, but ramps up in damage over time. So maximum charge of the maximum duration of the satchel does maximum damage. I think I'm not sure how much damage, like maybe 40 or 50, which was enough to push John Olsen to the left. But somehow, some way, Vibhor, I think, just misplaced his crosshair and got caught by John Olsen.
And if you ever have a lapse again against John Olsen, you know you're dead. Full Sense now, though, going at it for the classic mid-play. And to the B side, they want to run. And PTC running on in to get that takedown. Deathmaker, though, making the frenzy count at least. It's 3v3 for now as Helef will try to play the flank here, but this is perfect from right to Ace. PTC goes down. The spike is all the way on the high ground. It's quite the long climb here for Lammy Snacks to make it through. And in the alleyway, he will try to go. Spectre though in hand. Lammy Snacks still gets a headshot anyway to get that takedown. Lethality here for the side of Full Sense. And this is interesting because they want to make the pinch happen. Velocity putting themselves in a bit of a corner. Bit of a dangerous game here. Velocity is playing, but now at least they're looking to vibe a bit for the middle. Here comes Chalala though. Turret now. Gonna get the spot on the Lamb Snacks as of yet. Deathmaker with a takedown, but he made that noise, and here comes the swing. The peaks come out, and Velocity will take 2 to get 2. 2 to 7, a thrifty manner. Well played by the defense.
I have no idea how that happened. It seems like whenever Deathmaker and teammates have the frenzy in hand, it seems to be some sort of weird kryptonite that Full Sense just cannot really get away from or just pull away from. And it's happened like twice already, and isn't that like the reason why we have 2 of these rounds in favor of Velocity? because of the frenzy.
Dude, they're just crazy with the full auto guns. The more bullets can shoot, the better the velocity of bullets, right? Is that how it works? Faster fire rate,
Yeah.
and whatnot.
True enough, and you can jiggle like you know you can just like strafe shoot with the frenzy. Like it's much more fun than strafe shooting with the Vandal because it's been hella nerfed.
Blades though are out, and well, even if the blades are nerfed, they're still potent with the headshots anyway. John Olsen, always a chef in this kitchen, finds a 2 with the knives. That Maker though all the way on the other side now rotating, has the operator. The full sense. They actually leave that A site, but it was cleared out immediately here by John Olsen. So Velocity now going back to their initial positions, except of course Amaterasu, who's the one holding on to A. So an interesting assessment right now for Full Sense. They don't have the intel that they would want to work with in this scenario. So they're going towards that B site. The Opto is waiting, and this might not be the right call here for
30
Full Sense if
seconds left.
only they knew what was going on the map.
They do have Cha though to set up traps and still PTC's flash to utilize. So it's all about how well they can force back Deathmaker here, which is not really that much. He still holds on to this angle, misses the flick though, but they still have to be very careful about the double up that Hellap has actually brought up to the plate. The flank end from Lammy Snacks, but that Killjoy ultimate is about to explode. Oh, this is unfortunate. Both of them got detained. It's easy pickings now for Amaterasu. All he has to do is play peekaboo. PTC. No way. He actually still gets his gun.
I've got
The
your
fight is
trail.
still on it. And the Seekers are there here, Azurai. And in front of the column, yeah, PTC looking to find the angle. Quick little tap though from Amaterasu to force out the movement. Almost peeks into his demise. Of Amaterasu right now trying to go for the chase. Time though is running on out. He needs to make a play fast. And PTC! He gets the gun back out. He gets the round for Full Sense in a thrifty manner. The detain was not enough because hands up. Apparently PTC still had something upholstered there.
PT sheesh. Oh my gosh.
Party's over.
Oh, what? We need a POV from this man right now. Okay, he
10
overwhelms.
seconds left.
Gets the follow-up kill because of Lammy Snacks, which allows PTC to still survive. And then the last kill. Oh, he had to peek that. Interestingly enough, though, I have to point this. Amaterasu had double of his flashpoints. None of them used in that 1 versus 1.
And this might be the problem for Velocity. I mentioned a while ago, those role swaps, those different agents. We know that Velocity has practiced this is something that they're flexible, capable of doing. But at the same time, still very different against a squad of Full Sense. And this is a tried and tested composition here for the attacking
Spike down
side
A.
that they have run over and over again on a map like Split. But a great double swing there from Helef and Amaterasu. At least get the takedown onto the first one. Velocity though, they have to be careful of some of the angles they let go here, Asteroid, because a while ago, John Olsen just strolled on in, so they played from the defense side, and he would just get those takedowns anyway. Opto in hand, Cloudbursts are there, but that Spike is moving towards that B site.
Is slowly but surely coming in, but with John Olsen with the operator, that might actually avert the attention of the defenders here, and you already see it. Both the duelists are now coming in onto mid. That's how much John Olsen can pull the
30
attention
seconds
of
left.
the defense. There is already Amaterasu. He has ultimate here, so even if the spike is getting planted, they still have to be very aware. Deathless or Deathmaker does get the kill onto Johnny, and the pinch will be real. V as well as Shaw, they're in such dire straits here. If V can actually get out of the position, maybe he's not getting hit by the showstopper, but there it is. And Deathmaker also with the off. There's no way in hell that V would have been able to clutch that one out with all of the heavy utilities that Velocity were coming in for that post plant.
Yeah, no freaking way to get the escape. And is this another thrifty round? 3 in a row? Hello?
Last round.
What is money? Only paper, apparently. These guys are just winning out.
It's funny, but
Right there.
yeah.
Come on, these guys are just winning with these thrifty fashions. Who needs to buy when you can just get the 5-finger discount anyway from the opposition? But really, that was well played there by Velocity, and it's great to see Deathmaker find more value
Placing
now
swamp
with the
grenade.
up. Just a perfect angle there. He did get one frag a while ago to try and stem the tide of full sense, but lately it hasn't been his series. Remember back on Haven, there were a few rounds where he had an op. He had to save it over and over and over again, but this is it. Last round of the first half. Velocity, they've been struggling on the defense, but maybe now they can stop the bleeding as Full Sense trying to go towards that B site. Lammy Snacks though, that's not a rifle, good sir. That is a charge. And are you ready to meet this? No chance whatsoever, even with the flashpoint there. Amaterasu setting up his own teammate's demise because of the close range encounter. But here comes Deathmaker now, making the blades count instead. That's why he got that defuse a while ago. 4v4. And since Full Sense couldn't get the control that they need, they're now poking and prodding from the middle instead.
If they can get any good like angle here for Lammy Snacks to start things off with the showstopper. Oh, never mind. There it is. He's just gonna rush right in. Okay. No need for double satchel, BT dubs. There it is. Amaterasu using the defensive ultimate. That only does delay them a little bit longer here, but it did put Shaw in a position where he had to make waves by himself. This does now leave the 3 versus 2. No more time to go for B. They've committed already, or rather for A. They've committed already the push onto the B site, and the opening on Amaterasu was incredibly crucial. The cross by PTC as he gets the spike onto the default plant, and the 2 versus 2 commences here and now.
Yeah, just teleport there, faking the sounds. Right there, staying in position, really waiting for Deathmaker to come his way. Opto from the high ground might be the vantage point that they need. Checks out the cubbies just in case. Check out the mailbox as much as possible. But here goes the blades, and down they go. John also with the frag. Right place though is right there again. Right place, right time. That's the Omen guarantee apparently. But PTC now trying to play the wraparound, and here we go again. PTC. Can he do it one more time? Spike is ticking, and right to Ace is coming his way. There we go with the tap. Value Life on the inside. Nice flash! And the C in PTC stands for clutch. 9-3, and it's Full Sense now
Switching
with commanding lead from that split attack.
We're back to that cursed, cursed rounds. We'll see if that's gonna be the case here, Dax, because oh my gosh.
What's another death?
That was, look at the timing on that. Like, if it was a second later, the smoke would have dissipated, and supposedly Right to Ace would have had enough time to deal with PTC and try to defuse the spike. The timing on that was so razor thin. Oh my gosh, on that last round too.
Perfectly played by PTC, and that's why we like to see him on that sky rather than the breach, so quick at understanding those pop flashes and understanding how close it can be. And really, for the side of Full Sense, they were just starting to run away with the game over and over and over again. Many a time, John Olsen fragging out Lammy Snacks, finding the frags for himself as well. And for Velocity, they have the right configuration on the roster. They have the tools to put a stop to this kind of play. But the problem is, they're not really putting themselves in the best scenarios overall. They're still ending up in those dual scenarios in peaks where it's not really Lammy Snacks or John Olsen flashed on out as much, hit by basically a forced relocation thanks to the pain cells, thanks to the fault line. And Velocity, if they're not going to be setting it up for those kind of combos, then they better make sure that they win out the duels. And there were moments it happened there, Astrid. They went for the mid take. We've saw before. We've saw Deathmaker have that confidence. And a few rounds did go in their favor just because of that. But it's still a moot point compared to being able to hold off Full Sense, prevent their speedy entries in. And later on, it came such a confident push from Full Sense where they would just go for that B site from the garage itself.
And it happened multiple times because John Olsen just, again, did John Olsen things. He's already 16-9-2. And with all the pressure that he's done, it has allowed, as you mentioned, Full Sense to be more aggressive to go on these site takes. Because rather than being able to clear utility and the setups of Velocity, it's more like John Olsen just gravitates the rest of the attention of Velocity enough that it allows Full Sense to start running right in. PTC now just backing away. Lammy Snacks might actually get pushed up here. There's the swing out from Vibhor, and he really committed to the fight. He has been tagged slowly by the nade. but he does have this pinch play where I don't know if Chalala will be able to make this work, but PTC, he is holding the fort onto B Heaven and the double takedown onto the duelists, as now it's going to be a 3 versus 2 with Hell F and Right to Ace, hoping to maybe get this in their hands, but they've taken the opportunity to take down Right to Ace as he was planting the spike in full sense. A breezy round on split.
The usual names getting the frags. PTC able to hold things off on the high ground. And as soon as that happens, when everyone's looking towards the skies, towards the heavens, John Olsen comes on in to go for the takedown. Got Scrappy here in the middle for the pistol. But this again, just the flashes now to reset the opposition. And it could have been better from Velocity if they just find a way to swing even further. But PTC lined them up like dominoes, knocked them down, taps away. We are seeing here a full sense ready to run into the next week. They want to make it already to that top 8. Only Velocity now can try and stop them, but they've been stuck in a gear here, Azurai. We haven't found the pure acceleration nor the momentum for Velocity so far. And looking at the guns they have here, an absolute struggle right now because look, someone's already in the way. His name is Lammy Snacks, and he's ready to play.
Here we go. The Dance of Death onto the side and just the jiggle peek from Lammy Snacks, but not gonna be without any qualms as he does get that immediate refrag. Although full sense, they're just coming in through B main. Here we are, hasta la vista, baby, and they're gonna be swinging inside of that one. Flashing their own teammates, gonna be fine. Spots out one, not really left to the imagination. And I think Cha's, spider senses were tingling. He's already felt the alley push as they spot nothing on the B sites. Was the wraparound that full sense were well prepared to actually fight.
And if Velocity can't hold on to the towers of B and A, it's a big struggle right now because full sense will use it on the retake as much as possible. You see it here though. Lammy Snacks, Peekaboo, I see you. And of course, this is an eco state right now for Velocity. So getting that spike planned, already a big win under their belt in terms of the economy. Some extra credits for some extra utilities for a rainy day. Problem is though, what we're getting from Velocity right now is just they're getting completely overrun, and this is again where the unfamiliarity in many aspects rears its ugly heads for the teams not coming in from the SEA region. A bit of a problem there for Bonkers, a bit of a problem there for Global Esports, and you know, historically it's been a bit of a problem for Velocity as well. Not only that, full sense now feeling how hot they can be, optimized with many of these players just shining bright like superstars. And that's what we say about full sense, right? If they have the hot hands, they're a team that's nigh unstoppable. Lammy Snacks, he's not done with the antics. That's a judged hand. Nice peek though from the board to start things off. Here comes the Guiding Light though to try and give PTC a chance to escape. But VLT, they're getting the takedowns that they need. Here comes Tido, watching, waiting, and looking to go for the takedown onto the board. There's the takedown indeed. PTC on the board. Paranoid though, perfect. But he hides onto the default. And that's T right now with the angle still. It all collapses for Velocity. That looked to be a win already. But full sense, they just get the magic out of this bag. And this round, it all lies now to Right to Ace.
How did that happen? We need replays. I mean, I understand how it did, but the timing again and the positional awareness for PTC, so good. I don't think he's gonna know that PTC's already at the site itself. So when he tries to fully plant this spike, he's gonna get stabbed in the back already. There it is. Oh wow, the read from PTC, man. That accelerates them to match point and one more round.
And for VLT, just doesn't feel like it's as refined here compared to what we've seen on the last map. I checked out the draft and I was really interested to see Full Sense have that respect ban for Icebox and, you know, map number 3. If it does happen, VLT usually had that ban out in their local stage at the set map, but lately they've been building up that confidence. But here on Splits, it does feel like they're lost on the angles, deer in the headlights when they drop on down. If you notice, there was a moment where someone like Deathmaker smack dab in the middle. Full Sense realized that, hey, that's not our Jet. Why is he here? And they just shoot him down. they couldn't find the frags anyway, and that's a bit of a problem here when Full Sense is just able to navigate around some of the corners of a map like this and keep themselves alive. Here we go now with the Velocity map timeouts. But again,
Yeah.
it's like the timeout we saw a while ago. Why didn't it come earlier? Why is it coming right now when it's full sense on match point?
I'm not really sure, but well, better late than not at all, than never, right? It might give them that momentary swing. I mean, it feels like
Right
at
there.
least for the couple of rounds that Velocity were playing, they didn't really need the timeout. And you're probably saving it for this particular round because this is only the final chance for them. And to be honest as well, the rounds that they were losing didn't feel like rounds that they were honestly losing. They just got caught again by just the good timings of Full Sense there. That being said, this full swing onto the A side. How does he get through this? Finally, John Olsen
You
does
should
hit the
run.
shot though. And Full Sense will be gutted away from the A site. On the retake we go.
Source.
But really good stuff from
Oh,
Velocity.
he found
Spike
right
planted.
to Ace, found Chalalala, even though he got eaten by Seekers. And despite the blind, Velocity able to trade out the numbers here. Lockdown though now dissipating. Not really gonna get the detain, but did buy space for Velocity to make their last stand. Double stack towards the screen. A long angle through main, but even further away, it's John Olsen going for the parcels again. Signed, sealed, delivered, courtesy of Full Sense. And Velocity will have to read their own epitaphs as Full Sense will move on to the knockouts. 13-3, a commanding victory here from Full Sense. Eyes wide open,
Defenders
and the
win.
goal is clear from the play-ins to the playoffs. Full Sense will make the endurance run count.
And for the first time, Velocity will be facing South Built Esports tomorrow to vie for another chance into that qualifiers. This is the Full Sense that we have